There's a moment every entrepreneur hits. You're working harder than you ever have. The calendar is packed, but the inbox feels endless. That to-do list never gets shorter, and somehow the business still isn't growing the way that it should be. But the problem isn't effort. The problem is leverage. Welcome to the Leverage Podcast. I'm your host, John Davidson, and every week I'm sitting down with founders and top performers who have found that lever. The hire, the system, that mindset shift that changed everything. This show is for the business owner who's ready to stop being the bottleneck and start being the architect. Let's get into it. There's a moment every entrepreneur hits. All right, welcome to another episode of the Leverage Podcast. I am excited to talk real estate today with Susan Allen, who is joining me from North Carolina. Susan, thank you for joining me on the podcast today.
Thank you for having me, John.
Absolutely. So, a question I always love to start out with top real estate agents is what makes your area a great place to buy a home? So you're focused on the Triangle and the coastal areas of North Carolina. What makes those destinations a great place to live?
North Carolina as a whole is just, we have all four seasons. We have snow, uh, you know, great weather. We are within hours from the mountains to the coast. And there's also a lot of economic opportunity here, as well as wonderful universities. We have Duke University, UNC, NC State, which are worldwide renowned universities. We also have Research Triangle Park, which is a global hotspot for software, biotech, medical. So North Carolina is just a very fruitful state for living with families and also economics and work and travel.
I love that. You pretty much have it all there, don't you?
Yes,
North Carolina is one of my favorite places. I've spent some time in Charlotte around NASCAR stuff.
yes,
I used to work at GameStop as their head of partnerships, and we had a partnership with Joe Gibbs Racing. And
yes,
so some of my favorite memories are being in Charlotte, going to Topgolf with Denny Hamlin and Joe Gibbs and the team, and just having a
yes,
great time. And then also in Raleigh, been part of some great esports tournaments. I know Raleigh is actually a major destination for a lot of video gaming, competitive gaming tournaments. So, and you can't beat the mountains, and the beach isn't too far away, and you've got some barbecue as
yes,
well.
that's
So
true.
a little bit of all of it. Well, I want to take you, Susan, through your career path, and you can share some of these wonderful insights that you've learned along the way, becoming such a successful real estate agent. Uh, where did you first see the opportunity to get into real estate, and what was that mindset when you decided to jump all the way in and pursue it?
So I'm a alumni from NC State University with Bachelor of Science in Animal Science. I originally moved towards the Charlotte area to get into pharmaceutical. I was more of a sales type person and made some friends there, and that's when I saw interest in real estate. I would not have to be tied down so much to certain areas like the pharmaceutical industry. So I kind of ventured there towards real estate. And I was up in Mooresville area with all the NASCAR and all the engine shops and at the Remax up there. And I really enjoyed it. You have the Lake Norman. We were close to the coast. I mean, to the mountains. I could still come back towards the coast. And I just found a lot of interest in real estate. It was something you do every day, but every day was different.
Yeah, I like that. Well, and also you get to choose your own schedule, right? It's one of
Yes.
those industries where there's no really ceiling on your income from the standpoint that what you put in, you're going to get out versus just a steady salary working for an employer and you hope you get a
Yeah.
raise or a bonus at the end of the year,
Yes.
right?
Yes, that is correct. You're on your own. You make your own schedule. You decide when you're going to do what you're going to do, and your outcome of living and financing and everything else is kind of based on what you decide to put into it and how much you decide to put into it.
Yeah. Well, I know you are one of the top agents, not just in North Carolina, but nationally. You've had great success selling many homes and helping so many families. What is a key that you would say to success that you have discovered over the years of your real estate career?
I would have to say one of the most important keys is not every family is the same. Every person has a different personality, and every person has a different goal. And they're not going to always fit into my box. They're not always going to fit into what I may enjoy working with, but I find a way to enjoy it. I find a way to adapt to their personalities and be able to understand them, because you only get so far unless you can deal with multiple personalities in this industry.
Yes. Well, I'm sure you have, well, all sorts of folks, right? In all sorts of different situations. You probably have some first-time buyers. You have, you're moving to a larger home or you're downsizing.
Yes.
And I'm sure a lot of people are probably moving to the North Carolina area from other parts of the
Yes.
country as well.
Yes. This past year, I've worked with 4 families, helping them move from Arizona, Tennessee, Massachusetts, Florida. So a lot of them are moving towards North Carolina and this area.
Yeah, for those of us who are listening who are either planning to move to North Carolina or perhaps, considering, hey, where's my next stop going to be? What are some tips that you would share for, you know, you're completely uprooting yourself, right? And then you're putting yourself into this great community. What are some things to know for those listening who are new to the area?
I would definitely go to visitnc.org, and you can see and find events and just start to explore the state, perhaps.
Mm,
See what areas you like. You may like the mountain area where the Charlotte, you may like the Triangle. Visit, if you're going to be working here, come visit the job sites. If you have a certain culture or um, hobbies or anything that you like, kind of type it in on the visitnc.org site, and it will show you the areas that these are in. There's an area east of us called Wilson. It's very artsy. It's just a very artistic area. Cary has a lot of culture. So I definitely recommend them going to the state website, typing in, and start to explore and visit the different things in the different areas.
hmm Yeah, that's great advice. I'm curious, what does your team and your company look like now compared to when you first started in real estate shortly after college?
So I am solo. I don't have a team. I do not have a transaction coordinator. I do everything myself.
Wow.
Yeah, I do go to home inspections. I do the showings. I schedule everything. I'm blessed to be in an office where we have a couple realtors. I have a Dana Satterfield, Liddy Moore, Britt Norris, that we all work together well, and sometimes we'll merge and
hmm
co-list or co-buy to help each other out. But other than that, I'm solely on my own. When I started my business, which I was my LLC when I started with Coldwell Banker about 5 years ago, um, because I moved from Charlotte to back towards the Raleigh East area.
Right.
Um, so when I went with Coldwell Banker and I got my LLC, my business, I would have to say I've gotten um, I've gotten everything structured with my business with a good accountant, attorneys, all of that. But I would say that I've grown my business by just being relatable and being available.
Hmm.
And whether it's a $50,000 house or a $2 million house, I'm going to treat that person the same. But there again, I've learned how to work the personalities of people, and that has really helped my business from where I was 5 years ago with Coldwell Banker to now, or even let's say when I started in Charlotte several years ago to now.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Some people have the perspective of like, hey, I want to build a team or I want to build a big brokerage that my name is on. And that comes with costs and benefits, right? And then
Yes,
you have more of a perspective where you're on more the solopreneur side. So you're probably touching everything. You have line of sight on everything, and you can really control the client experience a lot more, I would guess. Share a little bit more about that approach for those listening who are thinking, okay, do I want to go down the solopreneur route, or do I want to go down the route of buying a team? Share some of your insights about staying independent in that way.
Staying independent for me has been very beneficial on many levels. For me, I have my how do I say this? I have my hands on the inspections. I have my hands on the showing. I'm able to answer my clients' questions. I'm able to remember their birthdays. I know what needs to be sent to the attorney's office when closing is supposed to be scheduled. I have my hands on everything, and so if the ball's dropped, it's on me.
Mm,
I I don't want to put my client, and this is me personally, my clients in the hands where we've got a lot of people working together as a team, and that's great, but they may not mesh well with someone else. Something might get dropped. So for me, going solo, I'm in control of whether I succeed or fail. And I'm also, again, can control my schedule. And then I benefit financially. I don't have to really share, split my compensation with other
right.
people. And I can just kind of engage more with the clients and what their needs are if I'm solo. And that has also benefited for further referrals down the road from
Mm,
past clients
yeah.
because they had that one person that was there for them.
Yes. Well, and you're also ensuring the consistency of your client experience, right?
Yes.
And it's not like, oh, I'm so excited to meet Susan. Susan's awesome. Oh, she helped me with my home and it was such a great experience. Susan, meet so and so. And you're like, hey, great, nice to meet you. Meet so and so who you're going to be working with. And
Yes.
right, it's just not the same.
And I believe looking back when I started with Remax years ago, it seems more advantageous, I believe, for younger realtors to feel like, well, if I get on a team, then I'll have help and if I fumble, somebody will be there to help me. And that is true. I have many friends that have teams. I have a great friend, Sandy Aikner. She is a big, and she's opened a huge Remax. We work together in Charlotte. She's in South Carolina and back in the Charlotte market now. Grown, phenomenal team. There's
Yeah.
lots of teams out there that are great, but don't join a team if you are just like scared that you can't do it because you can do it solo.
Mm,
You can do it yourself
yeah, that's
and
great
be very
advice.
successful with it.
That's great encouragement. Was there a moment in your career where you realized I can take this to the next level, still doing it on my own?
Yes. So we have a rock star realtor in our office, Lydia Moore, and she's done this 30 years. And I remember coming to Caldwell Banker, and she's solo, and she has remained solo. And I thought, if she can do this, and I remember years ago when I first met her and we started, I was like, if she can do this solo for 30 years, I can do this. And
Yeah.
we're great friends, but I was, I really admired how she was able to hold her business on her. And then she helped me, and then now I help other people. And that's, I think the thing is just believing in yourself that you can do it and take the small steps. It's not going to happen overnight. And then pay it forward and help others believe in themselves that they can do it.
Yeah. Well, I love that growth mindset as well, that, rising tides raise all boats. There really is enough to go around. And so in my career, I've experienced, when you're more open-handed and you're
Yeah.
thinking about just beyond just yourself, that comes back to you, you know,
Yes.
especially when you're surrounded with people who have that same perspective. Um, Take me through what a week in your work life looks like. I want people to, listen to say, okay, I understand Susan's successful. She's going the solopreneur route and she's doing a fantastic job maintaining this client experience. You can make any schedule you want, right? And that can be a curse or a blessing. So, pulling the curtain back a little bit, what does a week look like in the life of Susan Allen?
So my week's a little strange, and so I wake up at 9:05 every morning. I
Wow.
sleep. I 9:05 unless it's absolutely urgent. I go to the gym. I go to the gym 7 days a week, and
Wow.
I'll work from the gym. I can like email people back, talk on the phone, but that's the beginning of my day, and then I'm not normal. Okay, John. And then I do work on the phone some, and then I go to my office. I try to get caught up on emails, or I work from home. Get caught up in emails unless I have to show properties, return clients, you know, whatever things that they need. Show my properties. I come home probably about 6 or 7. I'm a night owl, so a lot of my work comes at night. I'm in there. A lot of my offers under contracts come at night. Paperwork. I'm there available when people get off work. They've given their children a bath. They've gotten them to bed. So now we can focus on things, and it's 9 or 10 or 11 for them. So I'm available for them because
Oh,
that's what works
nice.
for them. And so I've been up till midnight doing paper. Last night I was up 11 o'clock doing a amendment last night because my client had a child up with him. So I'm trying to accommodate, and then during that time, I have a niece and 2 nephews that I spend a lot of time with, and I'll take them places. I will take them to the pool or do something, but I'm available.
Mm-hmm.
So even if I'm at the gym, even if I'm with the kids, I'm available, and that's probably one of the most consistent things that I have like comparatively heard from all my clients, current clients, past clients, is that I'm very responsive.
Yes.
And I have responded. I'll give you this. I was at the Target with my nephew and his little friend. I have boba drinks, toys in my hand. My phone rings. It's 3 o'clock on a Saturday. We're on Hillsborough Street at NC State, and I was trying to get the phone out of my pocket, and I missed it, but I got it out. I called the number right back. It was a $500,000 listing referral from Florida, and she was calling 6 agents, and I was the only one that answered. I
Wow.
got that, and then I got another referral from that. So I'm not saying, you know, constantly have your phone available, but if I miss a call or I miss a text during the week, I will respond to that quickly.
And
And
then
that's consistent with me.
that's a great sign too about being reliable, right? It's like,
Yes.
wait a minute, I called her and she answered when nobody else did. I got a quick response.
Yes.
I'm starting to feel pretty comfortable with this person helping me out with whether I'm
Yes.
buying or selling because I know if I need to get a hold of her, she's going to respond to me, right?
Yes. And then on Saturdays and Sundays, there's several times I go to my office and work. I can get more knocked out of paperwork, get it prepped, what needs to be done. So that way during the week, we're ready to roll.
Yep.
So, 2 or 3 hours on a weekend by myself in my office can really catapult into the next week of making things smooth. We're ready to go. Every Sunday, I do have a calendar. I look at what I've got to do I've got a calendar, of course, for every day. But
Hmm.
every Sunday afternoon, I kind of brief through what's going on for the week.
I was going to ask you about that, the planning, because I've talked to a ton of successful people on this podcast. And one thing that I'm hearing consistently over and over, especially from business coaches, is when you plan ahead the night before, write out your day. And then you have that, and also insert that into your calendar so that it's automatic. You always know what's going to happen. If you
Yes.
need to pivot, you know what's next. You've already thought through and kind of mentally achieved a successful day. And then you
Yeah.
just kind of walk down that path. So it sounds like what you're doing on Sundays is you're looking a week ahead and you're kind of planning out that week, how you're going to be successful, getting your time blocks in order, and then talk a little bit about when a week or a day isn't going quite to plan. How does that planning help you continue the momentum to be successful?
So I color code. So if it's like urgent, it's red. If it's family, it's green. If it's like run an errand, it's blue. And so if I, as most people in real estate, every day is different. If
Mm-hmm.
I'm not getting accomplished what I need to one day, or something comes up I can't finish it, I move it around. I'll figure out where to move it, and then I'll refresh in my brain so I'm ready. Okay, we're going to move this to tomorrow, and I'll be able to fit in this time slot. We'll get it done. And if I needed to reach out to someone, I'll reach out to them and say, hey, I'm a little behind, or this is going to be done tomorrow afternoon, just so I'm keeping them in the loop, and of course being responsive and communicative, so my clients know that I've not left them hanging, or something we were supposed to do today didn't get done. But I'll color code and move if something comes up on a day that was supposed to get done and did not, or schedules got changed around.
Yeah, that's great advice. And it's one of those things that is so effective and helps so much, but it's one of those ironic things because it's so easy and simple to do that so many people skip over it because they don't realize the positive impact that it's going to have in our lives.
Yes, and I can access it from my desktop, my cell phone, my iPad, and I can always change around. It's a Google Calendar is what I use.
Yeah.
Um, but when I started, I was on pen and paper, and again, we had Lydia sat me down and helped me do the Google Calendar, and it's been a lifesaver and a huge moneymaker. I
Oh, yeah.
mean, it's changed my life really. But just being consistent to put it in the calendar. Okay, this day I'm going to take the kids to, I got practice from 2 to 4, or I got to show this house to this person, and they send this document, and you color code it and organize it.
Yeah. That is great advice. And it's not just writing it down, it is getting it in the calendar where it's accessible at all times. You can hold yourself accountable and really at a glance understand
Yes.
how to reset when necessary. Well, Susan, I want to hear more about some of your learnings and insights that you've realized throughout your career. But first, let's listen to a message from our sponsor, Sphere Rocket.
Business owners and entrepreneurs will place a proven executive assistant VA for just $4 to $8 an hour, and if they don't perform, you don't pay. Imagine freeing up 20 plus hours a week by someone handling your most time-consuming tasks like admin work, managing emails, scheduling meetings, and so much more. This one hire could transform your productivity and give you back the time you need to focus on growing your business. At Sphere Rocket VA, we make this possible in as little as 7 days. We'll place a proven executive assistant VA in your business for just $4 to $8 an hour, and your VA will take over day-to-day administrative tasks, help manage your email and calendar, follow up with past clients, giving you back 20 plus hours a week so you can increase your sales and even enjoy more personal time. And here's the best part. If they don't give you back 20 plus hours a week in the first month, you don't pay Sphere Rocket a dime. We've done this for thousands of business owners, and now it's your turn to see the results. Click the link around this video to schedule a demo and discover how this one hire can completely change how you run your business. Remember, if within 45 days the VA doesn't perform, you don't pay.
All right, we are here with Susan Allen. She's a top realtor in North Carolina in the Triangle and coastal areas, and she is sharing all of her insights on her career in real estate and also as a successful solopreneur, which is an interesting wrinkle to dial in on and learn from. Susan, my next question for you, you've had a great career over a long period of time. If you were to go back to talk to yourself on day one of when you decided to go into real estate, what advice would you give your former self?
Never underestimate the abilities that you can do.
Mm,
Believe in yourself and know that you are going to be changing lives. And as long as you have a heart in it, as long as you have a passion for it, the sky's the limit.
yeah.
But never underestimate the growth you will have in your life and the changes and impacts that you make for families.
Mm. Yeah, I think as an agent, you have such a special position in someone's life, right? I
Yes.
mean, a home cannot be overstated how important it is, right?
Yes.
And it can be a wonderful thing to buy a new home. And it can be even a sad thing at times, right? When
Yes.
you're
Yes.
leaving a home, and there's a variety of reasons. Um, Take us through some of those experiences that you've had and what makes it so rewarding.
I've had some that are very sad. You know, can't afford the house anymore. Um, Sickness, divorce, children that have special needs that need a home that's ADA accommodated,
Mm,
and also people getting married, and they're moving on to from their first house to now they're going to buy a custom house. So it's during all of those transitions and seasons of life for them.
yeah.
The best advice I could give will be, found them, understand them, be patient with them. I had one, we were selling their house, and 3 days after we got on the market, she got a letter that she had cancer. We
Mm,
continued to sell the house, and we were able to figure out, the days that she was taking her chemo medicine, she didn't feel like getting out of bed. I'd have showings scheduled. People were driving from far. We figured it out. But
yeah.
you have to work with people's situations and let them know that you're there for them. Okay, we can't show the house today. You're sick. Okay, that's fine. You need me to go let your dogs out? Be there for
Mm,
them if they need it.
yeah.
Don't just put the sign in the yard. Do you need to go pick their child up from practice so they can finish cleaning the house because we got a showing at 6 o'clock? Help them. Be
Yeah.
helpful. We all need help. Just be understandable of this is life and people's lives are all different, and selling a house or buying a house isn't easy for a lot of people, and again there's fun times, but I would have to say just be there for them.
Yeah. And there's so much that the buyer or seller doesn't know that the
Hmm.
real estate agent, it's probably common sense to a real estate agent that after doing it for years that someone whether it's on their first or second time buying or selling a home, they don't know what they don't know, right?
Right.
How do you go about setting up your clients for success, especially when, maybe it's their first time buying or selling and they really don't have a lot of experience in the process?
I will go sit down with them face to face, and I ask them, is this your first time selling? Yes, it's your first time buying. And I let them know, first and foremost, I'm going to hold their hand the whole way through this.
Yeah.
And these are the processes. And I go through the process. When we sell, this is what we're going to do. And we're taking in steps, and we have a game plan. And I like to have a game plan because it makes the clients feel like, well, this is their first time, but we're doing this as a team. It's a team
Yeah.
effort. And even with buying, okay, here's what we're going to look for. And you've called me if you have any questions. I'm available Saturdays or so. Again, there goes that responsive communication. I try to make them feel like no question is a stupid question because there is no stupid question. Um,
Yeah.
I don't try to put myself to where they feel like they are above or beneath me. Um, if I have a client that maybe is going through something in their life that can be nasty or not, I stand my ground.
Hmm.
I understand them, but I'm also not going to be walked over. So, and that goes back to the personalities, but I think just letting them know that I'm working for you. I'm going to hold your hand through the process. We're going to get through it. And I let them know it's going to be fun. It's going to be, you're going to cry. You're going to scream. We're going to be jumping up and down for joy. It's a roller coaster, but we'll get off this roller coaster. And I also let them know one of the very first questions I ask, what is your goal? What is your goal to buy? What is your goal to sell? What is your outcome you want? That
Hmm.
is the very first question I ask. What's your main goal? And I take that goal and everything we do is around that goal.
Work your way backwards from it, right?
Yes. Yes.
Can you give me an example? Because as someone who's not deeply into the industry, you might think, oh, well, yeah, my goal is to sell the house, or my goal is to buy the house. Are there other goals that you experience that are a little more complex in leading your clients to the destination?
Yes. So they'll tell me, I just want to sell the house. Okay. And so why? And they'll say, well, we want to get our kids in the school, and we're driving X amount of. So now I'm starting to think about areas they'd like to live in, things that would make them happy, because they're thinking the goal is to sell the house. But what I'm hearing, and that comes with listening to your client, is they want something that's easier for them and their children. So I'm going to try to
Yes.
make it easier for them and their children. Um, they're not happy with the neighborhood. They're not happy with the drive. They don't understand that.
Hmm.
Um, but I continue to ask questions. What do you like about this house? What do you like about this area? Well, I really like that area, but this one's close to me. But this area, has more to do. So I try to find something in between. Or,
Mm.
you know, I'd really like my kids to be able to just run around and play and not have any restrictions or HOAs. We just want to get the house sold. So their goal is, in their minds, to sell the house. I'm hearing them say they want somewhere that has no restrictions, no HOAs. Their kids can run around and play. They don't have anybody telling them what to do. So
Yeah.
listening is a big part of when I ask them, "What's your goal?" Because a lot of them don't. They'll say, "I just want to buy a house or sell a house." But then you
Yeah.
start pulling it back in layers by a little bit more personable questions. Talk about their
Mm.
kids, their pets. Do you need a fenced yard? Yes, I have a dog or cat. Oh, what kind? Oh, I have this, pet. And then, oh, I'll help you with a local veterinarian. Then they start to feel comfortable and happier with you. So it's just one step in front of the other of
Yeah.
questions and listening.
They might not even know exactly what they're looking for
Mhm.
until you take them through these leading questions,
Yes,
and it's giving you the insight on how to find the right home or to find the right seller, what have you. And on the other side, it's kind of opening their mind, like, oh, I should be looking for a yard because I
yes.
do have this dog. Oh, I do want to be close to a school, or right, there's additional details that help you narrow down what the right home is going to be for the buyer.
Yes.
Perfect. One more question for you. I know that being a successful agent has a lot to do with the relationships that you have with other folks in the industry, right? There are a lot of different groups that touch real estate beyond the real estate agent. So you're going to have your lender, you might have developers, right? Might have be dealing with architects, uh, the city developing new area, all of these different things. If you were to speak to younger agents in their career listening to this episode, how would you counsel people to develop relationships within the industry that are going to set them up for success in the future?
Go to as many county events as possible, builder open houses. Get out there and meet. Go to these new construction developments. Go, go, go. Get in front of them. Get their card. Let them see your face. You meet them. When you have a question, you may be able to get it answered by another agent about a GC. Pick up the phone and call that GC that you just met at that new construction development that's coming.
Yeah,
Go to your closings, go to your home inspections, meet your home inspectors. Start learning. Your home inspector will let you walk through, and they'll show you what they're doing. They'll help educate you. Closing attorneys, go to your closings. Um, be there with them, and at any event that you can in the beginning, and you'll start to meet them. Um, get accommodated with them. Lenders, pick up the phone and call a lender, ask them a question, and they'll also send you stuff and help you. Your team and investor, it's a team. I call it a team. Caldwell Banker Advantage. I cannot speak highly enough of. Um, I can pick up the cell phone right now and call my CEO and CFO, and they will answer it immediately. That
mm-hmm.
is huge to me. We have a massive marketing department, and that's a whole other team. They are there, Johnny on the spot. I mean, anything we need. So your tribe is your vibe, right? So builders, developers, your company, make yourself accessible to them in the beginning, and they're going to make themselves accessible to you, and
Yeah,
they're only going to want you to be successful. Um, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
I would like to say this, John. I had moved from Charlotte back towards home. It was about 10 years ago, and I got in an automobile accident. A lady T-boned me, and that was probably the greatest blessing of my life, and it's probably
Really?
why I'm very successful. I wear a sleeve on my left knee. A lady T-boned me. I was in a wheelchair for a year, and I was on crutches for 3 years. I was in physical
Whoa.
therapy. I couldn't walk. They said I'd never run again straight. I had so many people telling me that I would be disabled, just get on disability, you'll never do this, you'll never be everything. I couldn't work for those years. I was trying to learn to walk again. I was in these contraptions.
Wow.
And I say this to let those people listening that may be getting in the industry know you may be going through cancer. You may have gone through injury. You may have gone through something that had the boot on your back. You keep getting up. You keep soaring, and that will shine through your business. The determination
Yes.
to keep going, the determination to be the best that you can be.
Wow. That's such a powerful story. I appreciate you sharing that with us, Susan.
And
One
I'm
more.
not, I know people have a lot going on in their lives,
Yeah.
and they may think, I can't do this. Oh, yes, you can. I
Yeah.
run every day. You can. It may take you years to be successful in real estate. It may take you years to figure it out, but if you want it bad enough, it will come and you will prosper from it. Even anything in your life.
It sounds like you learned that through that very difficult experience. Take me through the moment where maybe you felt like you wanted to give up at times, but you chose the other path, right? To not give up
Yeah.
and persevere. What helped you develop that mindset?
Well, my leg was left on for a reason, and even though I had to crawl up steps to put my grocery bag, like up the step, I'd have to hold on to handles. I would take the kids to ball games. I was on crutches. My leg was still there, and I had to have a lot of therapy to wake the leg up, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm.
And I did it. I was determined to walk and run again. I was determined, and I didn't work it. I mean, I still had my license, but this was a little gap. I was determined to not let this incident that's happened define me or put my life on hold. And I feel like so many people have events in their life, whether they've lost a loved one, the cancer, that they feel like, oh, this is the rest of my life. No, it's not. And if that's one thing I could say is, no, it's not. And take that I call it a gift now that was given to me through a lot of trials and tribulations, and use that to fuel your passions.
Yes. I love that. That's such a powerful story, and thank you for sharing that with us, Susan. Last question for you. For those listening, whether they're in your area and wanting to sell or buy a home or moving from somewhere else, how can people get in touch with you in the ways that you'd like them to?
My website, susanallen.caldwellbanker.com. I'm on Facebook, Caldwell Banker Advantage. You can Google me. I come up one of the top Google feeds. My phone number, 919-817-5365. Shoot me an email, susanallen@cbadvantage.com. And I don't really know. I'm all over social media, so you can probably just Google my name and it'll come up.
And they'll find you. Well, that's wonderful, Susan. I appreciate learning so much about your wonderful career, the insights that you've learned and been so generous to share with us, and the story of perseverance is very impactful as well. Thank you for joining me today on the Leverage Podcast.
Thank you, John, and thank you for having me.
All right.